Okay, this is part one. The first part was the introduction. This is part one, strategy of the. It's actually a four-part, but I'm starting at the strategy as the first labeled part. So it's strategic invisible engagement, visible, visual invisibility warfare, and now it's on the strategy. And what strategy applies is that the enemy blinks first, means they make themselves visible to commit whatever their orders or desires are to set out to do. And that's the aim part. And it requires constant vigilance. I don't know if you can spell that. I just figure that, see that, how that's spelled. But the enemy blinks first. It requires constant vigilance. Not only for people in a mission, but for everyday life. Once invisibility becomes fully proliferated, which I'll argue for that, everybody would be required to have a lot more constant vigilance. But you'll also have the same abilities as a would-be enemy offender. So society as a whole would have to get used to invisibility. But even more so when you're on a mission to actually employ invisibility for a specific use, militarize or whatever. So strategy, the enemy blinks first. The enemy can come in different forms. There's four different forms that I know of. There's personal invisibility suits, number one. They grow larger to vehicular transport, which I even consider motorcycles because there's pretty large motorcycles these days. And there's been known kidnappings or hostage taking on motorcycles even. So they could be made invisible. Planes, tanks, automobiles. I left out trains, but who knows? Um, moving fortresses. You can see it gets larger, and you should consider moving fortresses because I believe we have that these days, or at least we have the capability, and it would work even better being invisible. And then the last one is concealed landscapes, like places that don't move, places that have no mobility. And it can be invisible to outsiders as well as being invisible in certain parts to people who exist inside the concealed landscape. So these are the volumes, the basic volumes. Personal invisibility suits, vehicular transport, they grow larger, moving fortresses, and then concealed landscapes. There's a debate with the concealed landscapes. They might be smaller than a moving fortress if you don't have very much of a claim to land or whatever, but I don't know. Or there might be nomads who don't have any concealed landscapes. Moving fortresses would be their only use route. Now here's the hit. That was the aim, constant vigilance for any enemy that might show themselves first. And here's the hit. Volume determines deeds. Here's the list of deeds. For a personal invisibility suit, infiltration, sabotage, small time theft. You can infiltrate some place where you're not supposed to be. You can sabotage things in that place where you're not supposed to be, or you can steal from that place where you're not supposed to be. Vehicular transport, they grow larger, and it also includes kidnap, hostage taking, infiltration, sabotage, small to large theft. When you have like a vehicle, motorcycle, plane, tanks, automobiles, possibly trains, you can have these added deeds. As the volume grows still larger, moving fortresses, you can have kidnapping, hostage taking, infiltration, sabotage, general theft, and battle staging, where battles can be fought at. And all the time you're looking for the aim and hit. Enemy blinks first. Constant vigilance. William determines D. And then the last of these is concealed landscapes. Number 4. Concealed landscapes. They're the weakest form that I believe they're the weakest form of invisibility. But all the previous ones can take place in or onto a concealed landscape. So that's where I want to stop at. And this is strategy. And in the next video, I'll move on to open source proliferation, privatization versus proliferation. Thanks a lot.